As of late, I think more about what it means to live in interesting times. When I struggle with current events, which y'all hear about, is not infrequent these days, one of the places I turn is to the wisdom of all of the people that have come before me. One such quote that I repeat to myself is from The Hobbit, and I feel it best reflects living in times of trouble. "I wish it need not have happened in my time," said Frodo. "So do I," said Gandalf, "and so do all who live to see such times." Essentially meaning that while one may not want to face difficult situations, it is a reality of life that everyone must deal with. The practical question for me is not why do I have to live through times like these, but exactly how am I expected to continue living in times like these? How exactly do I stay calm and centered when the storms of life are raging? How do I fuel my own resilience? I have found that I lean on the humans that I love and all the humans that have gone before me. In a small corner of my bedroom, I have been building an altar for months. It started as a very pagan space with a goddess statue and incense and candles. But then I added a hand-carved cross from our church retreat that came with the words, "You are not alone." A rock with music notes. Lastly, I added a poem based on scripture from the Hebrew scriptures. I have found that the wisdom I seek, which is simply how to best live this wild, precious life that I have been given, isn't found in any one faith or simple truth. I find wisdom in many different traditions, truths in many sacred texts, truths from philosophers, sages, prophets, and even old country and western singers. Today I stand before you with an invitation to explore how we can find personal spiritual strength through the lens of pluralism. In a world that often asks us to choose one path, commit to one truth, to belong to one tradition, Unitarian Universalism opens the door to a broader vision. We are called to explore a multiplicity of truths, to honor diverse spiritual practices, and to cultivate strength from the wisdom of many paths. In today's world, we are surrounded by pluralism. We encounter different cultures, religions, and philosophies every day. This pluralism, though some see it as a challenge and even a threat, can offer profound opportunities for spiritual growth. By embracing pluralism, we open ourselves to a deeper connection with the sacred, a stronger sense of belonging, and an expanded understanding of truth. Consider the image of a tree. Its roots spread deeply in the earth, its branches reaching to the sky. The tree draws nourishment from the soil, the rain, and the sunlight. Every part of the tree contributes to its growth and strength. It doesn't struggle to become something it's not. It embraces the elements that sustain it. In a similar way, our spiritual lives can draw nourishment from the diverse sources that surround us. Pluralism, like the soil and sun for a tree, provides a rich tapestry of wisdom, practices, and perspectives. Each belief system and tradition offers its own insights, practices, and stories that can contribute to our spiritual growth. And by embracing this diversity, we can deepen our understanding of ourselves and also our place in the world. Ours is, at its heart, a religion that celebrates pluralism. We are not bound by a single creed, but rather we are called to embrace the diversity of human experience and wisdom. When we covenant together, we don't covenant around a specific set of beliefs or a certain book, but around our shared values, the dignity of every person, the search for truth, the search for justice, compassion, the interdependence of all life. And we are encouraged, as UUs, to find truth wherever we find it. Whether it's in ancient texts of world religions, the insights of science, I recommend Neil deGrasse Tyson for that. The beauty of the natural world that we are surrounded by. We are not asked to adopt a uniform belief, but we are asked to seek. We are asked to continually seek wisdom in the places and learn from many voices. This commitment can allow us to tap into a deeper spiritual strength. When we open ourselves to the breadth of the human experience, we gain access to a wider array of tools for spiritual growth and personal development. We find a variety of ways to engage with the divine, to make meaning of suffering, and to build connections with others. But how does having access to all of this and trying to embrace all of this diversity, how does that translate into personal strength? First of all, it cultivates humility and openness. When we embrace pluralism, we are invited to let go of the need to be right, the need to be a right fighter, the need to have all the right answers. We come to recognize that no tradition or belief system holds the whole truth. That understanding fosters, or should foster, humility, a willingness to learn from others and to acknowledge that we too are always learning and growing. This humility doesn't mean we abandon our own beliefs, but rather we hold them with a sense of openness. We recognize that our own truths are part of a larger, unfolding story of human experience. And we are open to the possibility that others may have something valuable to offer us. By embracing pluralism, we grow in humility and become more open to new insights, new experiences, and new relationships that can strengthen our spiritual life. Pluralism can connect us to a wider web of meaning. As we explore different spiritual traditions, we begin to see the threads that connect all human beings, regardless of background, culture, or religion. Whether it is the call to love and serve others, the search for justice and peace, or the desire for understanding and wisdom, there are universal themes that run through all spiritual paths. This recognition of shared human values is something that we need more of. We all need to realize that the struggles we face are shared by others around the world, so that we feel a sense of connection to something larger than ourselves. We are not isolated in our challenges. We are not alone. We are part of a great web of human experience that stretches across time and space. This sense of interconnectedness, of being part of a larger spiritual and human family, provides a deep well of strength. It reminds us that we are not alone in our struggles, and that on our own spiritual journey is part of a much larger narrative. We are invited to deepen our own spiritual practices. When we engage with the diversity of spiritual practices and beliefs, we are invited to reflect on our own spiritual journey more deeply. We are called to ask ourselves, what resonates with me? What practices help me feel connected to the divine, to the sacred, to the vastness of the universe? How can I cultivate inner peace and clarity in the midst of life's storms? Some of you may find strength in the contemplative silence of meditation. Others, the power of prayer. Some may like the richness of ritual. Some may find wisdom in Buddhist teachings, or the Psalms, or the poetry of Rumi, or in Hank Williams Sr. I highly recommend him. In this diverse world of spiritual practices, there are a wealth of resources for deepening our connection, not just to the universe, but to one another. As we explore these practices, may we find new ways to engage with the sacred, ways that resonate with our own unique spiritual needs and experiences. That deepening of our spiritual practice can be a powerful source of personal strength. Pluralism will help us develop compassion and empathy. Engaging with diverse religious, spiritual perspectives can also help us cultivate greater compassion and empathy. When we take the time to understand the beliefs and the practices of other people, we can start to appreciate the challenges and the joys that they face. This deepens our capacity for compassion for ourselves and compassion for others. By practicing pluralism, we can learn to listen deeply to others, to honor their experiences and their paths, even when they differ strongly from our own. This willingness to listen and learn is not only a source of personal strength, but also a source of healing for the world. As we develop greater empathy for those who are different from us, we contribute to the creation of a more just, peaceful, and compassionate world. One of the great gifts of pluralism, finally, is the opportunity that it offers to find a sense of belonging in a larger community. In our faith, we come together as a community of people who may hold different beliefs, but who are united by shared values. This diversity of thought and experience does not weaken us. It strengthens our community. It makes us richer and more vibrant. When we are willing to accept and embrace the diversity of others, we create a space for ourselves to belong. We recognize that our spiritual journey is valued and respected just as the journey of others is. That sense of belonging is a powerful source of strength, providing us with support, love, and the encouragement we all need some days to continue on the spiritual path. In addition to fostering personal strength, pluralism as a spiritual practice can play a vital role in healing. In a world that is often divided by religious, cultural, and ideological differences, pluralism offers a path toward reconciliation and understanding. It allows us to see beyond our differences and to recognize our common humanity. That capacity for healing, both personal and collective, is one of the greatest gifts of pluralism. When we engage with others in a spirit of openness and respect, we create the conditions for healing and growth. We move beyond the need to convert others to our way of thinking, and instead we seek to understand, learn, and grow together. As we reflect on the spiritual strength that can be found through pluralism, we are reminded that our journey is not one of isolation, but one of connection. Connection to others, connection to the wisdom of different traditions, and to the divine presence that transcends all boundaries. We are invited to embrace the diversity of life, to honor the many paths to truth, and to find strength in the vastness of human experience. Once again, from Real K. Let everything happen to you, beauty and terror. Just keep going. No feeling is final. In embracing pluralism, we open ourselves to the fullness of life, the beauty, the terror, the joy, the sorrow, and we find strength in the richness of the human experience. May we continue to walk together on this journey. May we continue drawing strength from the wisdom and the experiences of others, and finding in every encounter an opportunity for spiritual growth and transformation. May that be so.